Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Omen Tarot. Today's reading is going to be about a question on your mind, something that you have not been able to answer yourself, and something that hopefully we will be able to answer together today. We have 3 piles today. We have pile 1, 2, and 3. Take a moment, see whichever one is calling to you, and I will see you at your pile. Okay, pile 1. If you chose the little green stone, this will be your reading. I'm going to put this over in the corner over here just so I know it. And I really wanted to do the Raven Tarot for you guys. The Crow Tarot, excuse me. Not sure why. This is just the order that the decks ended up coming out in. And this is the one that wanted to come out for you. So we're going to look at, I have a spread actually. I need to open that up because I made a spread for this specifically. We have, we're going to look at your question, how you're feeling about it, trying to see, whether or not there are some external forces or some type of information that you don't have yet. And then we'll see. Oh, okay, well, we're not going to take that quite yet, but first card that wants to pop out is the Page of Wands in the reverse. First thing I'm hearing is kind of a lack of interest, lack of passion, lack of energy, even possibly. Let's see. Hello. These cards are brand new and they are slippery. Quite slippery, I have to say. Let's see. Okay. Flip. And let's get your spread. These are pre-shuffled decks, by the way. If that makes you feel better, I'll put these somewhere you can see it, and we'll start pulling. So we have, I'm just going to start with what we've got here. Yeah, see, your lack of motivation coming out already is very interesting. It's not maybe lack of motivation, it's like lack of energy, lack of movement. Forgive me while I get these sorted out. And I am going to ask an additional question as to information that you do not have, but you need to have. Okay. Give me a minute while I look at this. Sorry. Okay. I feel as if this pile, this collective, has sort of given up on love, or do you have like no interest in dating or no interest in it's not like no interest, it's like your energy, your fight is like gone, right? Because the question that you're asking has to do with why nothing is really moving. Possibly why you haven't been able to move past a certain phase of your life, possibly why you haven't wanted to you're not rushing into dating, you're not rushing into wanting to date, maybe not even feeling like you want to be in a relationship, or maybe you're kind of at the point of denouncing it and you're not sure why. Like you're thinking maybe it's because you're meant to be alone. Like I think the biggest thing about this collective is you guys think that you're meant to be alone. Like as of right now, based on the evidence um, that you've collected so far, you're like, okay, well, it's not working out for me. When something I think is supposed to be mine comes through, it's not for me. Or when things start to pick up the pace, then all of a sudden some sort of blockage emerges, or um, I'm I'm stopped before I can even get going. It's something like you're wondering why you haven't been able to like either find that long-term relationship or maintain that long-term relationship, or like feel like that's even something that you want anymore. Like I don't know, I just feel I feel like a very like defeated sort of energy coming from this collective. And sorry, I'm gonna keep my spread open. You're wondering why that happy ending, quote unquote, is blocked for you, like why it's not manifesting for you, why it hasn't come through for you yet. um it's kind of like, okay, well, where's mine, right? I think there's some sort of external energy here that is um feeding this like idea that you have that you're meant to be alone, or that you're meant to be single, or you're meant to like give up on love and all together. And it, I don't want to say it's like a bad thing because it doesn't feel bad, but it's just like not for you. It's not you don't believe it, but it's like maybe you feel like people are trying to convince you that you're happy by yourself, or that you're better off alone, or you're better off this, and like you don't feel that way. But I think it's because you've been through some shit, right? Like you've obviously been lied to, you might be have been cheated on, betrayed, some sort of. I think maybe this group wonders if there's anybody honest out there, right? Like if this is even real, if love can even be real, if there are people out there who are built for the kind of love that you're looking for. Um and weirdly enough, yeah, what you don't know is that, well, let me clarify this, right? I feel like what you don't know is there's this backlog of things that are going to come to you eventually. I don't know, I'm hearing the quote like there are years that ask and there are years that answer. And you've been living through a lot of years that have been asking and not so many answers, right? But like this reading is meant to be an answer. And I'm kind of understanding that for this pile in particular, um, your answer is not to give up on love. You're not meant to give up on it. You're meant to believe in it. You're just not meant to like. How do I explain this? Don't don't go against your ideal for the future. Don't make plans that are against what you want. Don't plan something like, how do I explain this? This is like joining a convent, right? Like you're the kind of person that knows that your happiest life is in a partnership, sharing your life and your days and your memories with another person. And you know that you are not going to be happy, truly, fully happy, unless you have a person to share every day with. Like, that's a perfectly acceptable and okay thing to want. I think this notion, again, this might be this seven of swords here in your outer influences, this idea that like nobody needs love and nobody needs romance and nobody needs to be in a relationship. Like, nobody needs any of those things, but like connection and love and intimacy and touch and understanding and building a language that only you and another person or another couple of people or whatever your situation is, that is a really beautiful and important and sacred and integral thing to the human experience. And to tell people that like, oh, love is overrated. Love is not overrated. It's not. And you know it. And I think that you've been trying to like convince yourself or like absorb this ideology that like it's not all what it's cracked up to be, and like maybe you're better off by yourself, um or that you're meant to be by yourself. But I don't feel as if you're meant to be by yourself, because your advice for the answer that you got: don't make plans against your intuition, against the thing that makes you feel like you've made it, right? Like your perfect ideal self. Don't lose that. Don't lose the image of that. Because you have the Two of Cups here. I don't know if that's gonna focus the way I want it to, but you have the Two of Cups in the advice from the universe for your answer here. This is for you. It is for you. And I believe that there are some of us who are born with this inherent knowing that you're meant to be part of a partnership. And that partnership can be more than one person. It doesn't have to be just one person, but like some of us have an inherent knowing that we are meant to walk this life with other people. And I think that you are just like really frustrated and wondering why it's been stalled, why it's taking so long for you to find your person. But you have a match here. You have the King of Pentacles in what you don't know, and the Queen of Pentacles in your answer. But the both of them are reversed, right? So it's this feeling of like it hasn't happened yet. It's going to happen, but it hasn't happened yet. I wonder if I can ask for you why it hasn't happened yet. Why not yet? Whatever relationship it was that you experienced previously, if there was a relationship that you experienced previously, um, I think that it took away some of your kind of, how do I say this? Like it like locked your inner child like behind some walls, if that makes sense. Um, there's something here about you needing to access that childlike hope before you can encounter this person you're meant to be with. Because I think a lot of this blockage, and what I was getting in the beginning, and I wasn't quite understanding why I was getting it, what I was getting in the beginning is that a lot of this blockage is one, it's not time yet. But again, it's also not time yet because there is an aspect of you guys that you have lost faith or lost some sort of innocence or some sort of um, I don't know, that thing that makes you want to try in love, right? You've kind of lost that. And it's important for you to rediscover that before this person comes in, because it's very possible that this person could come in and you could brush it off because you're just not like your blinders are completely self-focused, introspective, self-focused, introspective, self-focused, introspective, that if this person was in front of you, I don't even think you'd like see them. You wouldn't recognize them for exactly what you want. You wouldn't recognize their interest in you. You wouldn't recognize the peace that you feel around them because you're so wrapped up in like, I'm good by myself. I don't need anybody. And you could also, this is a, not to say that this attitude will scare off the right person, but there is a toxicity to that mindset of that I don't need anybody and I'm better off by myself. And like to the point where you're like you're brushing other people off, or you're not even considering them, or you're not taking them seriously, or you're convincing people that you're telling people who they are before they have an opportunity to show you who they are, right? So there's something along the lines of like you needing to let people show you who they are again instead of keeping this like, I'm gonna be alone anyway. I'm better off alone anyway. I don't need to see you. I don't need to know you because it doesn't matter because I need to be alone. It's a very stubborn, like, and I know you don't feel that way. You know what I mean? Like, you could front forever, but you don't feel that way. Your feelings are very, like, I don't even know that you're feeling your feelings. I think your thoughts are kind of running your feelings right now. Like, if you have a feeling, your thoughts kind of smother it. It's something like that. Like if an emotion arises in this, like let's say like you watch like a TikTok of a cute couple, or like you're watching a movie and something happens and you're like, oh my god, like I wish like something like that would happen, and then you'd be like, no, look, no I don't, no I don't, ew, no I don't, love is stupid, love is for nerds and dorks. Like it's something like that where it's like, ha ha ha, yes, it's funny, um to an extent, you know uh it's not really super healthy to lie to yourself and say these things and verbalize, right? Because our lives and our realities are built off of our words and our intentions and our beliefs and our thoughts, right? So to an extent, so to constantly be saying out loud, I don't want that, I don't need that, love is stupid, love is pointless, love is this, I don't need anybody, you are actively building. That's why it's saying not to make these kinds of plans, not to make these kinds of statements, right? Because you're actively building a reality where that's true. And that's not really what you want. So eventually you're going to find yourself alone with nobody, independent as hell. Sure, nobody can hurt you, nobody can touch you, but nobody can love you either, right? You're going to find yourself in that space and you're going to go, oh, this is worse. This is worse. So instead of going all the way on the other end of the spectrum where you're going, love is stupid, love is dumb, I hate it, I don't want it anymore, it's dumb, nobody needs it, I don't need it, I'm gonna be alone forever, it's pointless, everybody's dumb. Instead of doing that, you could journal about it, you could write it down, you can feel how you feel, but like you could be like, fuck everything. But in practice, in practice, you follow up those thoughts with a different kind of statement. Like, right now, I feel like love is pointless, but I know that someday I'm going to meet somebody who's going to change my mind about that. It's you're still venting and you're still allowing yourself to express those feelings of frustration, but you're also following it up with this affirmation that like this is a temporary feeling. This is a temporary um, feeling of lack, right? It's not that it's going to be forever. This is not a permanent feeling. I'm not always going to be alone. I'm not always going to never need anybody. But right now, that's how I feel. But I know that somebody's going to come along someday. Oh, you know what song I need to listen to? Oh, shoot. What's her name? What's her name? I think her artist name is Absolutely. I know it's Ray's. Oh my god. I feel so stupid right now. I'm so sorry. I know it's Ray's sister. Um, and I think her artist name is Absolutely. And she has a song, and it's called, I think it's either called Just Don't Know You Yet, Just Don't Know You Yet, or something like that. where she's basically says, she says, I just don't know you yet, but I know that you've been sent. You've been sent from God to teach me to love again. Um, yeah, it's something like it. Yeah, it's something like that. Like this. Not only is that an affirmation that you should be telling yourself, this is also kind of the answer that you're looking for, right? The answer is it's a not yet, and it's not showing up because you need to believe in it again. You don't believe in it, not really. And you can tell yourself, no, I do. Yeah, if that's how I need to feel, then yeah, I believe in it then. But no, this is a practice. This is going to be an everyday practice that you're going to have to put in, of noticing those negative thoughts, those like, I don't want that, I don't need it, whatever, and like reparenting those thoughts, so to speak, and just being like, well, all men are cheaters, and then you can be like, all the men that I have experienced have been cheaters, but I know that my husband is not going to be like that. Like, it's something like, trust me, I know, like, it sounds annoying. Like, it sounds so, all the advice that I give everybody sounds so fucking annoying, right? But it works. It all works. So I just want you to trust me. Like, follow up the shitty thought with an an affirming thought, that kind of like cancels it out and restates your intentions to the universe, right? Because we are constantly, we're just trying our best to let our true intentions and our true desires be known to the universe. And yes, like, the universe and God knows what's in your heart, but it doesn't hurt to say it out loud, right? It doesn't hurt to verbalize that and to let your own ears and your own brain hear it. It's, if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you should learn a little bit about visualization and verbal manifestation and why it's important, right? And how our thoughts shape our reality and all these things. Anyway, I'm running a little bit over on your reading, pile one, but your answer is, how do I explain this? Your answer, let me open your spread back up. Your answer is that it's going to happen in a way that you cannot predict, that you cannot plan for, that is going to take you by surprise. However, your advice is not to take action towards this thing. It's not telling you to go out there and date. It's not telling you to pursue love. It's not telling you to aggressively pursue love, because you might, like, have been up until this point continuously pursuing and pursuing and pursuing and being disappointed every time. And that's why you're like, what the fuck? Like, I've met like 100 dudes and they all suck, right? Or like girls, or, whatever. I've met 100 people and they all fucking suck, right? It's you, babe. No, I'm just, but like, it's something about how you're not gonna find it in the state that you're in, right? Because you'd run it into the ground, unfortunately. This is just how that goes. The way that you are, you don't trust, you have been hurt by people, you have convinced yourself that you're better off by yourself, you're better off alone, that you're meant to walk this world alone, and that is not a mentality to go into a relationship with. And it's going to give you a lot more problems than it's going to prevent problems for you, because you think like this mentality is going to help you. It's not going to help you. There is something here that I just want to throw in briefly, about the person that is meant for you, being so completely different from what you're used to, being this like well of genuine love, being someone that you can depend on, being someone that eases your mental state, eases your mind, does not make you feel untrustworthy or suspicious, or like you're being lied to, or like you're stupid or you're crazy, or like, this is somebody so completely different than what you're used to, that what you've learned in these really toxic situations, the defense mechanisms that you've learned, the way that you are now, is going to hinder you more than help you when it comes to what's coming in for you. So I think the reason why you found me is because I, unfortunately, I found my person in the middle of all of these really deep defense mechanisms that have been like taught to me basically after like these ceaseless fucking betrayals that kept happening to me. Um, it sounds so dramatic, but like just constant shit that kept backstabbing. Let's just say, just like constant swords in my ass, right? And it was just affirming to me that I couldn't trust anybody. That always everybody was always waiting for the moment to fuck me over or like go over, or you're gonna do something, or you're waiting for the somebody better or whatever. I'm gonna tell you something. I wish I didn't think that way, and I'm working on that now myself. But you're in the place where you haven't encountered this person yet. So you're in a much better position to work on this and to find your softness again before this person comes in. Like you're kind of being like, you're being held away from this person for your own good. Like you're pulling at them, and I see like the universe or God or whatever it is that you subscribe to, right? Just holding you by the scruffs of your necks, like not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet. And it's because either you or them, that's not that kind of reading, so I don't know what's going on with them, but you in particular, there is a belief, a childish sort of faith and hope that needs to reemerge. And I think you need to do some healing when it comes to these relationships that you've been in the past. Let me see. Give me a second. I'm going to have a little juice. Yeah. You've been through a lot, clearly. You've been through a lot and you're out of a lot, and you're not going to let anybody put you in another situation. I think that's where a lot of these defensive feelings come from, right? Like you're just not going to let anybody put you in a fucking situation again. Um, but I think you have to learn how to trust yourself. Trust that you're not going to let yourself get put into a situation like this again. Trust that you can notice the flags. But there's also a need to balance that out with allowing yourself to be soft, allowing yourself to trust, allowing people to show you who they are, allow them to make the mistake, right? You have to give somebody room to show you who they are in order to know who they really are. So you can't control it. You can't avoid a situation. You'll never know what they would do in that situation, right? So you just kind of have to let people do what they're going to do. And then you adjust accordingly. You adjust your own behavior accordingly. And that's how you avoid situations. That's it, really, you know? You don't have to fucking book it at the first red flag, but if you bring something up and it goes badly, or the reaction is bad, or you feel like you're being gaslit, or you feel like you're being dismissed or whatever, then you know what to do. You just pull your shit back, you pull yourself together, and then you just very quietly, I don't expect that kind of treatment. I don't accept that, and that's not what I want. So no thank you, thanks, and no thank you. The right guy will go, oh shit, never mind. Or he won't do it in the first place, but let's be honest, nobody's perfect. People are not perfect. Everybody's going to make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. You're going to make mistakes, and you're going to want them to forgive you as well. So it's just a matter of you figuring out what is forgivable to you, and also allowing people to show you who they are before deciding who they are. Because there's an element here of, if you decide who this person is before you allow them to show you who they are, you might miss out on something really great. You're like going to miss out on the very thing that it is that you're waiting for. So before you miss out on it, or before you insist that it's not anything that you want to deal with and you don't care and you don't have to deal with this because you don't have to deal with nobody, maybe study where that comes from. Study whether or not you would feel that way in a relationship that you felt safe in, because it's about safety, right? So think about the kind of man or the kind of woman or the kind of person that would make you feel safe, that would undo the learning that you did in the other relationships, right? What the other people taught you, who would undo your defense mechanisms. Think about that kind of person, and then think about the kind of person that that person deserves, and that's who you strive to be. And that's how you call that energy in, and that's how you integrate this energy, is being the person that that person who is going to help you regulate your nervous system again, which that should be, a majority your work, but are really are only some things that relationships can heal. You can only heal certain things between people. And I'm not saying just romantic stuff, but like sometimes if somebody, hurts you, then you need to be in a similar situation where somebody has the opportunity to hurt you similarly and chooses not to, right? It's one of those things. So it's like, I don't know. It's about you kind of needing this time to find the balance between the person who is brave and is aware of the red flags and is aware of toxic behavior, and the person who is not going to be the toxic person in a relationship with somebody who is trying their best to give you something genuine and honest and is not trying to hurt you. I think you need to be out of paranoia mode in order to call this in, just so that you don't end up hurting this person like unnecessarily. I don't think that you're going to scare them off, but I do think that this will help you. You're kind of being given the opportunity to heal this before this person comes in, to kind of avoid unnecessary hurt. So yeah, I hope that makes sense to you, pile one. Let me know what you thought in the comments if you want to, and I hope that this helped. Thanks. Bye bye. Hello, pile two. Those of you that chose the redstone, this is going to be a reading. So, let's get into the question on your mind, question that's been on your mind. A seemingly unanswerable question that we will hopefully be answering for you. And I've made my own spread for this so we can see very clearly what's going on here with you. And yeah. Oh, hello. This I thought it was the cards for pile one, but it might be this mat being so slippery. I don't know. Okay. Let's see what is going on with pile number two. What is pile number two's question? What's going on? What are you feeling about it? What are you thinking about it? Let's go. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Cups. Oof, okay. And what you don't know. Okay, lots of reversals for you guys. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. Just something that I noticed right off the bat. The question on your mind, pile two, is something that has to do with going against the status quo. Now, I don't know if you don't, it's something like you don't want kids, or you don't want marriage, or you don't, something like that. It's something that, oh, sorry, hold on. Sorry, that's gonna happen a lot. She's a Pomeranian. Um, anyway, pile two. Your question, I think, kind of has to do with children. I don't know why. If you're not questioning whether or not you should have kids or whether or not you should get married or something like that. Um, you might also be questioning whether or not um, some of you guys might be considering terminating a pregnancy. Um, yeah, it's a heavy question for this pile. The dog's already starting to bark again. It's a heavy question for you guys, and I want to approach it with the nuance that it deserves. So I'm going to clarify each card so I have some understanding here. Okay, now I'm really getting that you guys are how do I say this? You're pregnant or you are considering um it's something to do with I would be surprised if you were not a woman. I would be surprised if you were not dealing with the pressures that women in society have to deal with. Because it's just something here about going against the general public consensus opinion or like a very passionate crowd um, in order to do what feels right for you. So I don't know if some of you feel like caught, like it's this feeling of like it's a double-edged sword, right? Whatever it is that you're dealing with, you're like, should I not? Um, if I have this baby, it kind of feels like all my options are taken away from me, right? And I feel like external pressure, um, it could very well be, how do I say this? It's very interesting with the magician being an astronaut because it's like some of you might have a very like religious community around you or a very passionately pro-life, very passionately traditional in some way, shape, or form community around you, or you're just like you feel very pressured by society in some sort of way. You feel pressured to conform to something in some sort of way, but it feels so wrong for you. It feels so wrong for you, and you feel that it feels so wrong for you. Um, you're confused. Um, one moment you think maybe it's a good thing, the next you think it's a bomb. Like it's how do I show you the image? Let me show you the two of pentacles here. Okay. A pentacle and a bomb, a grenade. A pentacle, a grenade. A pentacle, like it could be a good thing, it could be the worst thing that ever happened to me. It could be a gift, it could be the worst thing that ever happened to me. And it's something along the lines of like you only thinking that it could be a good thing because of what other people are telling you. But like your feelings are telling you something about this is not right. Like it doesn't feel right. And your advice, your answer being the Four of Wands in the reverse, the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. I don't think you're ready to raise a child. I don't think you're ready to get married. Something about you doesn't feel ready. Maybe you're young, maybe you're too young, maybe you're just not ready. Maybe it's not right for you. It could be any manner of reasons, right? But there's something here about it. Just like when you think about it, when you think about kids and family and that like that perfect picket fence nuclear situation, like you feel like claustrophobic, like you want to jump off a roof or something. So it's very like um now okay, I take it back. I don't I wish I could take back things like early on in the reading without going through all the like hours of editing that would take to render that shit. But like if you stuck around and you don't identify as a woman, you're not a woman, this could be that you've gotten somebody pregnant or something like that, and you're feeling like, well, the right thing to do is to marry her, or the right thing to do is to have the baby, but it's not going to make you happy. Like it's like it's going to be a lot of work and a lot of effort for very little reward. And I don't think that this dynamic or this situation that you'd be tying yourself in with another person is right for you. Like it doesn't feel right. I wish I could explain it in a way that made more sense other than like no. But um yeah, it doesn't feel right. So if you're considering getting pregnant, it just feels like not now, you know? If it's a now or never kind of thing for you, then it feels like a never thing, and I don't think that you'll regret it. Um I think that I don't know, it just doesn't feel like you'll regret. I don't know how to explain this. Should you manage to do what you want to do and not succumb to the peer pressure, you will have succeeded in not being sabotaged by a very meager and non-existent offer, right? Um, it again, it's definitely giving parenthood. Um, and if it's not parenthood, then it's uh, just something that you are not prepared for. You don't want it. It doesn't feel right to you. And when you think about it, you feel confused and you feel like you could go either way, but your feelings feel very like I'm going to be stuck and it's not fair. I'm going to be stuck and it's not fair. I'm going to be stuck and it's not fair. I would be stuck in an unbalanced situation that would be unfair to me. Um, and it's taking a gamble, right? It's a huge gamble that feels probably deeply unfair to you and more like it's less of a gamble for somebody else. So it does kind of feel like children, right? Maybe you're already married and you know your spouse is changing their mind, they're considering kids, and now they're trying to convince you that it'll be good, but like you're the one that has to carry and birth the child, and like that's a nightmare for you, or like even just the effects of it is going to impact you much more than they would. Or like if you're the man in this situation, then like they're trying to tell you like things are fine, but like that the relationship is not going to work out with this person, so you're going to be on the hook for this baby like financially forever for a child that you did not want in the first place. It's something along those lines of like, this is not a fair situation to you, but you are considering it because I don't know if you're thinking maybe like you'll be surprised by like untapped potential. Like you'll kiss a frog and it'll turn into a prince, or like in this shitty little rock I'll find a diamond or something. Like it's maybe it'll be a surprise, maybe it'll be the best thing ever. Like maybe it will surprise me. And like I don't see that. I don't know that I see that. I guess I want to ask. Sorry. I get a sip of juice. I guess for you guys in particular, we should ask what happens if you go for it and what happens if you don't. So if you go for it and if you don't. Right. Let's clarify. Right. I believe the answer for you guys is don't go through with it. Whatever this thing is that is going to change your life so drastically, like tie you so drastically, like could be a gift from God and could be a genuine curse from the devil, like whatever it is that is this huge could impact you this massively. Saying no to it. Oh, sorry, saying yes to it. I feel like there is some serious pain down the line. So either, you will split from the person that you are pregnant with at the moment, and you will be left to deal with that alone, or, you're going to get the shit end of the stick legally if this falls apart, which it looks like it will at some point. But if you don't go through with it, I do feel like you will avoid feeling like you have trapped yourself in a losing situation. And I would like to clarify that actually. Yeah, this feels like dodging a bullet. I don't know if you're really considering like keeping this person's baby or something like that, but I personally feel like the advice is to not marry this person or commit. Like this commitment, this big commitment that is looming here. You're like, should I not? And it has to do with family, right? Don't do it. Right now is a no for you. Right now, this question on your mind right now with this person, with the situation right now, it's a no. Why is it a no? Excuse me. Wow. Why would you not want me to share that? That's so weird. The Hermit in the reverse, the Five of Cups in the reverse. It's a no because it goes against some sort of independence that you need available to you. Inherently, you know that you will regret this. Inherently, you know that you are not meant to be locked in or tied into something right now or someone. And you understand that you're meant to be kind of free from this situation. This commitment, you're not meant to be tied up in. And you know that. Yeah, sorry for coughing so loud, but that was weird. That was so weird. It feels very like I got choked up. Like it. I know this is tough, and weirdly enough, like your advice is kind of telling you to be a little bit less empathetic towards if it's a baby than the fetus or whatever. and think of you and think of the situation that you're putting yourself in. And this is a person that doesn't exist. This is a situation, a commitment that doesn't exist yet and doesn't have to exist, right? And you don't have to tell anybody that it ever existed. If this is a situation where you're scared what other people will think, you can handle this by yourself. Your body, your choice, your life, your choice. It's your forever commitment and not anybody else's. Um, and if you feel like this is a commitment that will drive you to insanity someday or some really deep upset or some life situation that you, if you could press a button and go back to this decision and undo, just don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it till you're sure. You know what I mean? Um, yeah. Don't do it till you're sure, pile two. That's your answer. You don't feel sure right now. You actually feel scared, unsure, which is, it's a normal thing if you're considering, starting a family and stuff like that. But if your outcome, like, if your answer was to like go for it, build a family, all these things, like, if it was giving me like positive, um, commitment, investment vibes, things like that, then I would go for it. But it wasn't that. Those were not the cards that you were getting. It was, you got the Four of Wands in the reverse, the Eight of Pentacles also in the reverse, and the Ace of Wands upright. So it gave me a very like, do what's good for you, right? Do what works for you, because tying yourself into this commitment just based off what other people think is right, what the church thinks is right, what the Bible says is right, what God says is right. Sometimes, and I don't mean to be insensitive to anybody's belief systems or anything like that, but like, sometimes there is no right and wrong decision. There's just what you can live with and what you cannot live with. And if you can live with being in a loveless situation tied to a commitment that you want no part of every single day, co-parenting with a miserable person, if that's your situation, or just in general, um, sacrificing your life, your entire life, in order to bring a new life into the world that does not exist yet and does not need to exist. What can you live with? What can you not live with? Right? Can you live with regretting it or not regretting it? Can you live? So it's like, if you're currently pregnant and this is your thing and you're like, oh, this situation is bad. I don't want to be with this person. I don't want to have a kid with this person. You don't need to. Your advice is to do what works for you. If you're not in that situation and you're just kind of like contemplating whether or not you should in the future, I feel like you feel like it's not fair to do it until it looks like the world is in a better place, until it looks like we stop repeating the same cycles historically over and over and over again. Um, yeah, and I think you fantasize about the world being better so that you can bring life into it, or you could feel more comfortable bringing life into it, or whatever it is that you're wanting to do here. It does feel like children though, so that's just what I'm going with. Um, I do feel as if you want that, like, you want the world to be a safer place. You want it to be a place where you want to bring children into, and like, I think you're very aware of the reality that it's not, and you're not going to fall for this, um the general ignorance of like just doing it just to do it, just because it's what everybody does. Like, you want to do it and you want to do right by this new soul that's coming in. Do you want to bring this new soul into the situation that we're currently dealing with as a species, right? That's, I think, a big question that's on your mind, and I don't think that you have to. um and if you're already there and like you're way past that point, like, you cannot take this back, you can no longer take this back. the advice would be for that. I don't think that that's the situation that we're dealing with because I really don't have anything to share about that. Like, if this is just something that you cannot take back, um, maybe you're in a bad situation, like marriage wise, right? If you're already in this situation and you're like, how the hell do I get out of here? We don't divorce, like Christians don't divorce, Catholics don't divorce, whatever. We say Muslims don't. We stay together. We stay together no matter what. It doesn't matter what happens. We stay together. Consider that your happiness is more important than this general like rule that you are allegedly allowed to live by or not live by, right? um you kind of are allowed to do whatever the fuck you want, pile two, and especially when it comes to your life and your happiness, because everybody, I promise you, is doing whatever the fuck they want behind closed doors, and they will tell you whatever they want to your face, they'll preach whatever they want to your face, and they will do whatever the fuck they need to do to live with themselves behind closed doors, right? You should do the same. You need to do whatever you can do to live with yourself, and if it means leaving the situation, even if you're not in it, if you're almost in it, if you're deep in it, there's something about you needing to prioritize what feels fair to you. And if you feeling a lot of dread about going into this situation doesn't feel like it feels fair to you, doesn't feel like you're excited about it, um and it feels like you coming here and looking for answers is proof that this manipulation, even if it's intentional, if it's not intentional, it's not getting to you, right? You are questioning. You are the kind of person who can question. You don't just go along with the status quo. You don't just go along with, what everybody's saying to do, to not to do. So you're thinking like, do I not want kids for the right reasons? Do I want kids for the right reasons? Like, I think you're asking yourself, what's right, what's not right, what's fair, what's not fair for you to want, for you not to want. Um, I think you have a lot of reasonable questions, Pile too, and I just think, I think you're not taking the bait. I think that you are smarter than just believing what people tell you. I think that you are questioning your own desires, what you want out of life. Um, and I also want you to know that anybody trying to convince you that they're happy when you can very clearly see that they're not, when they are constantly complaining about their life, they are constantly dreaming of living differently, saying they want to live differently. Um, Misery loves company, right? So I find a lot of um, people who unfortunately have children and regret it. They are not very fully honest about if they would go back and change those things, right? And while I do think that like most people love their children, right? Maybe. That a lot of people love their children and they don't regret them once they're there. I do think that a lot of women in particular, um, probably wish that somebody had been more honest with them, or probably wish that they had paid more attention, right? About the real difficulties of motherhood, about, how much you sacrifice, how much you give away, how much it no longer is about you, right? And I think that, especially in like really deeply religious communities or very traditional communities, there's a tendency to kind of romanticize the role, romanticize what it is, and not so much look at the individual person and see their struggles and see their pain and see like how they're disappearing into that role. Um, I think you're very aware of the struggle of mothers. I think you're very aware of how much they lose. Um, they've gained so much as well. Like, I hate to make it sound like motherhood is this big fucking, because it's not. It's not always this painful. What the hell? Sorry, my dog is coughing. Are you okay? Case in point, it's not always glamorous. um, but it's not always like this terrible thing. And I think that you're aware of that as well. That's why, the coin and the grenade, could be the best thing that ever happened to me. It could be the worst thing that ever happened to me. Um, but I think the fact that like this, it could be the worst thing that ever happened to me is like up in the air for you right now, kind of is leaning you away from this decision, right? I don't think you're ready for it, right? If ever, but I definitely don't feel right now that this is right for you. It just doesn't feel like it's what you want. It doesn't feel like it's going to make you happy. You don't feel excited about it. You feel stressed and you feel like you want to run. So, looking at that could help. But also accepting that this might not be the right person to do it with. This might not be the right situation, you know? You might not be in the right financial situation that you want to be in, right? I don't know. Like, there's a lot of reasons why you might not want to bring a child into the world right now, and I think that's okay. There's a lot of reasons why you might want to um, go against what is done, quote unquote, right? And pursue a different style of life that makes you happy. And I think there's kind of this element of selfishness here that is existing for you, that needs to exist for you, because I think you're thinking about what's fair, right? What's fair, what's right, what's fair, what's fair for everybody involved in this situation. But like, I think perhaps maybe you think about what's fair for you as well, whether or not you even want that. Like, is it fair for the child for me to choose to not have it? Is it fair to my partner for me to decide that I don't want children? Okay, but if you have a child for somebody else, if you have a child for the child, and you don't have a child for yourself, and you don't have a child for the right reasons, there is resentment that is going to build up and grow and exist and come out in some way, shape, or form that you don't want it to. So this is not you being like selfish. It's not. I mean, yes, but not in a bad way. It's not. This is not you being like you just going against it because you want to go against it because you love to be difficult, right? It's just you have real, genuine fears that this is not the right time for you. That this is not the right time in general, in the world. This is not. That this is not right for you. This is not right for you, and the thought of it is making you feel panicky. Um, and so your advice is kind of to follow that feeling and do whatever stops the feeling. So if you are pregnant and you don't want to be pregnant anymore, you know, if you're married and you don't want to be married anymore, you know, if you're considering all these things and you're thinking, I don't want to have a baby right now, I don't want to get married right now, I don't know if I ever want to get married right now, I don't know if I ever want to have a baby, you don't have to want those things. And you don't have to share those things and subject yourself to the opinions of other people either. Like, it's terrible. But you're definitely dodging a bullet for you right now. This version of you is dodging a bullet if you choose to walk away from this thing, this concept, this idea of the future that has been proposed to you, right? Whether or not it's something that's existing right now that you need to take care of, or just an idea in your head, it's pointing you to an understanding that this is probably not the path for you. I don't know that parenthood is your thing right now, right? It's not what you want to be putting your effort into, right? So you might just have other projects, other passions, other things that you want to be doing right now, other dreams that you have. You want to travel, you want to go here, you want to go there. You have other things you want to do, pile two, and this is not part of it. This was not part of the plan, and you don't have to change the plan. You don't have to. You can take care of it and go on with your day. It doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you a selfish person. It doesn't make you anything except a person who gets to decide what their experience is while they're here. That is the beautiful thing about being born in this era. You get to decide as long as, they stop taking our fucking rights away. Right now, you get to decide. Hopefully, I don't know where you live, but hopefully you're somewhere where you can decide, where you can make that decision. I hope that you have the ability to make that decision. I I would hope so if you were coming to see what the answer should be, that you have the ability to make that decision in towards whatever the answer is, right? But I don't know. I just don't feel like committing to this thing that is going to take so much effort and so much work and so much commitment from you. It's not what you want. So that's your answer, pile two. You are not sure about it because you don't want it. If you wanted it, think about what it's like to want something. Think about what it's like to really deeply want something, to know that your life is missing without it. And think about how you feel about that thing, that situation that you're in right now. This question. Think about how you feel about this question. Do you feel excitement or do you feel dread? Because if you're feeling dread, it's definitely like a no and like get out of that situation kind of thing. But if you're feeling like excitement, that's a whole different conversation. However, I feel like you're feeling dread, um, and that feeling itself is your compass towards what you should do. Um, so yeah, that's what I got for you, Pal 2. Hopefully that was helpful. I hope it made sense. I hope I answered something for you. And let me know in the comments what you thought if you want to. If not, then I hope you have a great rest of your day. And hopefully we'll see you next time. Bye. Oh, hello, pile three. Sorry. Um, if you chose the Blackstone, this is your reading. All about the question on your mind and the answer to it. So we're going to get right into it. I made up a little spread for this to get us a very clear answer. So let's see what we get for pile three. What do we got? What do we got for pile three? Okay. Pile three's question and pile three's answer. Actually, bring your little rock closer to me so I can look at it. Focus on the energy. All right. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Wands. Interesting. Okay. I'll put this here so you can see. I forgot to do that for pile two, but that is what happens. And let's go. Wow. Okay. And what do you not know? What does pile three not know? Something you don't know that you need to know. Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay. You guys are asking about love, connection, an apology, even perhaps for some of you. There's something. How do I explain this? You're asking where is something. You You have been waiting on something and you're asking where is it, right? And either it's an apology that you have not received from a friend, or it is a connection that has not come through. Something hasn't manifested in terms of a connection, right? I feel like your thoughts are very balanced, very loving, very mature towards the situation. I don't see um, any sort of mental cloudiness or instability or emotional turmoil or anything coming from you. I see you being very like in control of yourself, at ease. Um, you've moved on from something emotionally. Your feelings are, they've progressed. You feel lighter about something. You feel freer about something. Um, and that feeling feels like it's taking you somewhere. And I think that that might be either like an existing relationship or um let me clarify this 6 of Cups here. I don't know, like you're not giving into memories. You're not giving into the past. Like you have either you or the other person in this situation has like released themselves from this. It's a really weird reading for you guys. Okay. Some of you guys are asking about why something has not come in, right? Let's try to I'm trying to generalize this, pull it back so that it makes more sense. You're asking about why something has not come in regards to a connection. And the answer is because there is still more to be learned about this, or that you in particular have some learning to do. You or them have some sort of learning to do, some sort of healing to go on. There is an aspect of needing to study, to learn, to take their time exploring themselves. And for those of you that are asking about somebody that you know, right? And this is about someone that you are waiting to hear from or you're waiting to have an apology from. I don't know that you're going to get that. And I think that's because this is like a very individual journey on both sides, right? Like something has happened or something is happening, but this period of time for you is about introspection. It's about learning the self. And if there's another person involved that you're aware of, it's the same for them on that side. So what you're unaware of is that there's no more effort to be made in this situation. There's nothing more to do. The calmness and the peace that you're feeling, or the feeling like you want to move on from this, I don't think that I think you might be waiting for somebody new. I don't know that you're waiting for this person from the past, right? So I wonder, also for some of you, if you're like, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling better, I'm feeling calmer, I'm feeling more like myself, and I'm wondering where this is, where this apology is, where this person is, and it's I don't know how to explain it. It's like the other person in the situation, if there is another person. Actually, let me clarify that. The other person and you. Yeah, okay. So the other person got the awakening card and you have the Wheel of Fortune. I feel as if you're moving on from a situation with a past person and you are anticipating them returning or something new. So I guess maybe your question is like, is this person coming back or is this somebody new? Is this a return of somebody or is this somebody new? And you might be hearing from like other tarot readers, like this is somebody old, this is somebody old, like this is an ex thinking about you or something like that. I don't think that this person is coming back. I think that this person is having, how do I say this? If this person is coming back, it's because they have learned something about themselves. They have gone on some sort of healing of a wound that was making them do this kind of thing, right? Like they're coming back in a healed place. But I personally, I'm just not feeling like a returning kind of energy. I'm feeling, yeah, King of Wands in the reverse, Four of Swords. Yeah, I'm just feeling this situation is like the situation with the past person can be put to rest, can be confidently put to rest. So maybe this feeling of expectation that you're feeling, you're hoping that it's not this past person. It's not. I think what is happening is you're being invited to learn something new about yourself, about what you want. Um, I think now that the situation with whatever this was is over, you can let it go and you can start healing from it and you can start not even start healing from it because I feel you very like calm and mature. Maybe you're thinking very calm and maturely, but no, it's like I feel you very calm and mature. I feel you like the oceans in terms of emotionality, like they're active but they're controlled, right? So you feel a lot, but you have a good handle on it. And I'm understanding from you that like maybe you're just having a sense of something and you're feeling worried that like this person is going to come back or that you're going to have more to do with this lesson, this healing situation. I don't really think so, though. I think that if you want it to be done with it, you can be done with it. And I think that you can expect something new. I think the something new for you is something that's going to, it's like an opportunity for you to learn something. It might be an opportunity to learn something about yourself. It might be an opportunity to heal something within yourself that you didn't know needed healing. But for yeah, for this ex that you're worried about, this past person that you're worried about, this friend, this whatever, um, they're going through something individual, right? I don't think that you need to be worried about them bothering you. But if they do bother you, then I don't. There's really nothing. There's no more to be done here, right? I don't know how to explain it. There's nothing to build here. There's no more to go. You know that you need to go. You're feeling like you need to go. You're feeling this anticipate. Like how do I say this? You're anticipating something coming in. Um, because you feel this massive feeling of having shifted, having moved on from something. Um, but I think there's a bit of worry that, like, oh God, is this just the restart of another cycle? And that it just means that I have more introspective work to do. There's more work to do in myself. I don't think there's more work to do in yourself. I don't think that you need to, um, shake up any ground that you're that you're standing on. I don't think that any of that is necessary. I think what's coming in for you is new. Yeah, okay, so you have the Three of Wands in the world. I think what you are feeling is the ending of this cycle and the beginning of a new one. It's kind of like the season finale, so to speak. It's hard to explain the feeling in words, but it just feels like a new reality, right? Like that's over, that's done. I've dealt with that. I've grown a lot from that. And now something new is coming in, a new me, a new version of me, something to learn about myself, a new aspect of me, a new version of me. And for you guys, I do think it's one second. Sorry, my throat was dry. For you guys, I do think it's something along the lines of unveiling your happiness. And that sounds so vague, right? Like, oh, my happiness, right? It's something like this new phase of your life will be lighter, will be brighter. I do think that the situation that you were dealing with before, I think this person had demons for sure. If it brought out some nasty stuff in you, you've healed those things. I don't know that you're the one struggling with the stuff, though. I think it's them struggling, or they were struggling with some sort of situation. It could have been like a soul, like a karmic soulmate or some other, I don't like to use those terms anymore or whatever, but it's like there's just something that you were dealing with somebody that caused you a lot of pain, caused themselves a lot of pain, and you're feeling this shift and you're hoping that it's not a new cycle with them, but I don't feel as if it's a new cycle with them. I feel as if what you're feeling is the ending of this cycle with them finally, and kind of releasing it, healing. I don't know how to explain it. It's a some of you have wished for this to be over with, or wish for this to be resolved in any way that it possibly can be. And maybe at some point you wished for this, like this relationship was like really all you wanted. But now that you've seen them for like the hurt person that they are, and you've tried your best, and you've come to this place of maturity and understanding, you're now at this place where you just kind of want to, you understand that, everybody's demons are their own. You can only do so much. And I don't think you're interested in carrying anybody else's weight anymore. I think that you want to discover you, right? I think you want to find something that makes you happy. I don't think that you want to be constantly draining yourself to teach somebody, or to heal somebody, or something along those lines. So I just feel like for you guys, you're wondering like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling like this is done, but is this done like it's done and it's going to be another round with them and they'll be different, or is it done and it's done? Well, I don't know what that was. Something fell behind me. So, personally, I feel as if you're ready to move on from this. I feel as if they are in the process still of healing, of learning, of unpacking things. And I do think that you releasing them has allowed them to do this. I don't know what your history is. It seems kind of attached, though. They seem very attached to you. I don't know if you guys had like a codependent situation going on or whatever, but now that you're ready to let this go, or that you have let this go, or that you're feeling like you want to, I think maybe you need some permission. So I do see you having permission to let it go and to stop feeding into a cycle that is draining you, and to just kind of let go and let God and let this person, hope that they will find their way, wish them the best, and possibly stop waiting for them. I don't think that they're going to get it together in time for you to want it anymore. I don't know how to put that any further. Um need to clarify this. I don't know that this person's ever going to stop having feelings for you. I don't see that. I don't see them not having feelings for you. And I don't see them making it easy for you to leave them behind, like energetically. However, I don't feel you staying, right? I feel you finding a lot of peace in exploring this, like, I don't know, like this celebration of yourself, right? Like you are, to use kind of a dorky term, like you're learning how to fill your own cup, right? Like the actual physical cup. This is your satisfaction, your happiness, your love, your all this, your beaming energy that has been drained. The Queen of Cups in the reverse, by the way, that has been drained from this relationship or relationships like it, but it does feel like a specific thing. And I feel like freeing yourself from the situation, allowing yourself to accept that you did everything that you could, accept that there is nothing more that you can do, accept that it's time for you to move on, and accept that there are better things for you on the horizon. Um, I see you kind of stepping into your own. I see you coming into your own, and what happens with this person is not your business. Um, we all make our decisions, and whether or not they get better is whether or not they get better. Um, and if there is no other person involved here, and this is just you feeling this big, massive change in your life, feeling like a cycle is ending and you don't even know what, it's just this cycle of feeding into connections and relationships that are draining you rather than feeding you, right? Like people should be pouring into you just as much as you're pouring into them, because if everybody's pouring into somebody else, nobody is empty, right? If I'm pouring into you and you're pouring into me, neither of our cups ever go empty. But if I'm always pouring into your cup, who the fuck is refilling mine, right? So it's something like this for you is a massive lesson that you've learned, something that you are moving on from, something that you are moving forward in, and it doesn't feel bad. It feels like, yes, it would be nice if this person got their shit together and they fixed it and they changed and they completely shed their skin and manifested and just like turned into this brand new person, but that's not typically what happens. Um, and I do see you finding more happiness letting go of this. Um, and it's because there's, I guess there's more. There's more for them to learn, and there's more for you to learn, and I think you've maybe outgrown this situation. You might have outgrown this connection, and you know that. You might just be more curious about yourself than this person is, more curious about your wounding, more curious about the world, the universe, the questions, And I think that you're meant to be exploring those things. I think that you're meant to be free to explore those things. And I don't think that keeping yourself in relationships that make you feel drained, that's as far as I'll go. Relationships that drain you and do not allow you to explore yourself or feel free or feel rejuvenated or refreshed. They're just not really relationships that are bringing anything to your life. And I think maybe there was a time where you felt like those relationships were necessary because you wanted to learn about yourself and learn about yourself and learn about yourself. But I don't think that you need to do that anymore. You don't need to learn about yourself through offering love to people who don't know how to love themselves. It's kind of time for you to pour into yourself, continue to pour into yourself, and pour into people that know how to pour into other people. And how do I say this? You are waiting for something that that person cannot give you. So, what you're really waiting on is yourself to understand that the only thing that you will ever do in that situation is give of yourself. You're not going to get anything, especially if you're always in the position where you are 10 steps ahead of this person and you're constantly teaching them how to catch up with you in the hopes that they will someday be an equal partner to you. Even if that's just a friendship or something like that, it's just a matter of letting this person be on their own journey, on their own time, and you kind of finding spaces that make sense for you, people that make sense for you, connections that make sense for you. Because I think that you've outgrown that, and I think that you're worried that it's coming back and it'll keep coming back, but it's not gonna keep coming back in a detrimental way unless you let it. It will always, this person, I feel like probably you guys have had feelings for a long time. You've been entangled for a long time, and they see you as a source of comfort, and something about you always makes things better for them, I'm sure. So they're always going to come back to you. They're going to accept you no matter what. They're going to take you back no matter what. But you, I feel like you want more, and I feel as if you are also afraid that this is what you'll be dealing with forever. Like, this is what you're meant to be dealing with, this situation with this person where they keep making mistakes that you don't want to be correcting, or they keep making choices that you wouldn't make, or whatever it is that's going on. Because I didn't look too deep into what went on between the two of you, but your answer is to release it. I think you're meant to release it, and find spaces that make sense for you, spaces that like feed into you as much as you feed into them, because I feel as if you are searching for healing or searching for self-knowledge or searching for introspection in all of these like quote unquote low vibrational situations. Like, being in a hard time does teach you a lot about yourself. It does strengthen your character, sure. I don't think that you need to be doing any more character strengthening exercises, Pile 3. I think you're good on the character strengtheners, you know? I think now it's like, what makes you happy? Like, what brings you joy? I think you're good on like the self-healing thing for now, and now it's more about like enjoyment and balance and fun and things like that. So yeah, what you're feeling is not the restarting of a new cycle with this person. It is the ending of this cycle and a new beginning for you that is about you and not about this connection. So that sounds pretty good. Hopefully that made sense to you. I did kind of go off on a little bit of a tangent at the end, just channeling a little bit, but hopefully it made sense. Hopefully it helped you. If it did, I would love to hear about it in the comments below. And otherwise, I hope that you have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.